Hey everybody, welcome back to The Stuff of Legend. My name is D'Lo and I've got another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about Starfire and her new look in Titans Season 2, which I think is looking pretty promising, but we'll talk about that. I want to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on this as well. There was a lot of controversy about that, so I don't want to waste too much time. Let's go ahead and get right into it. If we can, just cut right over to this next scene. Anyways, if you guys have seen Titans, or you've seen the trailer for Titans Season 1, you guys have already seen that her look in that show was very, very different from what it should have or could have been if they're going to go based on the comics. Now, they did a lot of things to pay homage to her classic look, like the costume was clearly trying to be close to the original, and the hair was inspired by but not targeted to be like the original. And they went for big hair, which is great, but they went with a hair that did not look, it didn't look like long and straight or like wavy or like it was very, very curly. It looked clearly like a wig. And that's something that is incredibly difficult to do, but if there's like 100,000 cosplayers that have gotten it right, you'd think that a TV show would be able to nail it. So I wanted to share my opinions on this, but also show some love for the show because it looks like they're learning from last season's mistakes, and obviously it's going in a good direction. I wanted to show you this with you and see if you guys felt the same way that I did. So let's go ahead and cut over to Anna Diop's Instagram account, where we're going to take a look at this. So if you guys didn't already know, Titans Season 1 had a very specific look. I don't want to get too crude or anything like that, so I'm going to try to filter my language on this one, especially because we're just the context of what we're talking about. Starfire has always been a sex symbol for the comics universe. She's always been like very risque, not a lot of clothing, which I'm actually glad that they did cover her up more in Titan Season 1. I feel like that would be just vastly inappropriate if they were to do that, like they did in the original comics. But they deviated so far from the class, like they gave her this big fur coat, which obviously if they were doing that because they were filming in Vancouver, that's one thing. Like obviously you don't want your actress to die of hypothermia, but at the same time, maybe they could have shot indoors in a warehouse, had the heater on, you know, something like that, or had her wear the coat until they shot, have the scenes shot, then put the coat back on, you know, like those types of things. But I thought Anna Diop did a great job playing Starfire for the most part, as far as what they were going for in a live action, much more serious. They were really aiming for that gritty feel, really like Dark Knight type of style of DC Comics TV, and which I thought worked well. I thought they actually executed that show very nicely. I just hope that they literally turn up the brightness on the show and they film with better lighting, because this whole like filming in the black of night doesn't work for me very well. So I hope they fix that. Now, let's cut over and take a look. Let me see if I can pull this up really quick. Starfire costume and hair. You guys have already seen this from the thumbnail. In fact, I can just show you by pulling back up the thumbnail. Let me see if I can pull this up. So you see here on the left, that's Starfire in Titans Season 1. She's got the coat. Obviously, the suit is purple. That's very good for the comic book accuracy. But the hair was it looked very fake. It just doesn't look like real, and it doesn't look like Starfire's hair. Starfire's hair is a little wavy, but it's mostly straight and very, very long, mostly on fire. And the skin. This is another thing. If you guys have already seen videos like this, you already know where this is going. It's not about her being African American. It's not about her being a dark-skinned African American. It's about the fact that they put no effort into costume and makeup to make her skin orange. So they could have picked an Asian woman, a black woman, a Hispanic woman. Doesn't matter, really. It really doesn't. As long as the facial structure is close, similar, and the color of the eyes, skin, and hair are accurate. And they really dropped the ball. They only did orange skin during the power-up scenes when she's actually using her power, and they changed her power so it's not like green bolts anymore. It's actually fire. And that's very different. So I'm gonna go ahead and take away this image so that we can cut back to the meat of this topic. That was one look, very like long curly wig type hair. they made her out to look like a prostitute because in the show, she is operating as a prostitute at the beginning of the show. So it looked that way, and it was that way. In context for the story, it works, but it still pissed a lot of people off, including myself. I didn't like that. I like Anna Diop. Don't change the actress, keep the actress, but put a little effort into that costume if we can. Maybe not be so offensive to the fans of the character. You know what I mean? Anyway. So here we go. Let's take a look. I'm not going to be able to zoom this in very much, but that's okay. Just follow along. The link to this will be in the description so you can check it out for yourself on your own device. But Anna Diop posted at her 200,000 followers mark. She said, "We did it, InstaFam. 200K, all my love," with a black heart here. And then she also goes on to post this video. Now check this out. Look at this costume. It's looking really cool and very accurate to the comic. So look at that. So it cuts off at the waist, and then it's got the top up here. It's still got the green necklace and her hair. Look at her hair. It's very different from that long, like super curled wig that she had before. This one actually looks much more like the comic book character. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of those images. I'll let this play a couple more times. That way you guys can see this video for yourselves. But this is already looking a lot better. A lot better in my opinion. I'm actually really excited for season 2. They're doing a lot of cool stuff. There's some things with the casting that I thought was weird and questionable. Like they make, we're still waiting to see the full cast and make sure that all the cast names are matched up to the characters and everything. But it looks like they're gonna mismatch like Slade Wilson, like make him a white guy and the daughter's Asian, and then the son is like half Asian, but it's whatever. So like it's kind of confusing how they're gonna rationalize that structure. But nevertheless, I think this looks really, really good. So they obviously in this image have not done the orange skin yet, but that would be so easy if they could do that for the fans. Just orange up the skin a little bit, like Donald Trump orange almost. Like you just like the background of this, like it's like almost like a bad spray tan. You put that on there, and you've already got yourself a really good Starfire. So that to me sounds like a good plan. Now let me go ahead and show you guys the next one. So this is obviously that one. I put the link to this in the description, but this is the image on the right of the Starfire that we got in Titan Season 1. You see the fur coat, the boots up to the thigh. It was a cool look, but within the context, when you're looking at this in the trailer before the show comes out, you're like, what the heck, that's Starfire? Big disappointment looking into it. And then once you're in the show, actually it kind of grew on me a little bit, but the hair was still a bother for me. I wanted something that looked a little bit more like comic book Starfire. And honestly, almost every cosplayer on Earth gets it right. Like you look at this one, I think this is just an Amazon costume, and it looks like way closer to the character. This one is a cosplayer. It looks way, way closer to the character. You can basically pick anyone for cosplaying Starfire, and it looks automatically 100 times better because the detail to the costume and the detail to the hair is what really. And most of these cosplayers, they end up being white chicks because Starfire is lighter skinned. Her orange isn't a dark orange, and that's something that is going to be difficult to overcome if you have someone with a darker toned skin base like Anna Diop does. But that's not the end of the world. I'll show you what I mean right now. So if we go ahead, this is what Starfire looks like to almost every single fan of Starfire. Very, very light skin with an orange tint. Bright red hair that is down to her butt, or longer in some cases. And it's not like curly. It's a little wavy, but not curly. It's just comic book flowy, I guess. Green eyes throughout the entire thing. And her bolts should be green. It's green energy. It's not actually fire. And so those are the things that were lacking in the show. And in the Rebirth, you can even say, well, what about the other comics? What about not just the TV show? She still looks pretty white to me. Like her facial structure, her nose, everything pretty much is like that. Now, I'm not complaining about like the race here. What I'm saying is that if they had gotten the orange skin, if they just told the makeup department, hey, we're going to pay you an extra, $10,000 so that we can get you, orange skin on Anna Diop every day, that would be miserable for Anna Diop probably during filming. But it would make the quality of the show a lot better. even just those simple aesthetics make it so much better, and they would get so many more viewers if they would stick to the classics. That being said, we come back to this, and this looks really good because now they're starting to go in that direction. The costume, very accurate. With the crop top, they can do the pants. They don't have to do some like non-existent clothing with just barely like covers over, you know, the really private areas. But this, like the red hair that's not curly but is a little wavy, that is what we're talking about. This is much more accurate. I'm really excited for this. I can't wait to see this. I hope that her and Nightwing get a lot more interaction. They did have that in Titan Season 1. They've been very true to the characters for the vast majority of it. I hope to see Beast Boy transform into more than like one animal. That would be nice. And, you know, maybe even, who knows, do dinosaurs, do anything, you know, get creative. If anyone had those powers on Earth, they would definitely be doing that, just changing it up, picking whatever animal they want for whatever situation. Why couldn't he get out of the freaking cage? It's like, it's not like he's stuck to being a human or a lion. He could have turned into a snake, you know? But obviously they're going for the fact that he didn't know he could change into anything else, which is weird. But I'll take it for now, as long as it gets fixed in Season 2. And this one, Starfire, is looking pretty great. So, Rebirth, you see the hair. The hair is usually quite outrageous for Starfire. That's one of her main things. It's almost like Medusa from the Inhumans. It's like super long, flowy, and then at the bottom it actually is basically on fire. It's like inflamed, glowing. And that's something that would be hard to do for Starfire, but they did that a little bit. When she powers up, the energy surges through her skin and her hair and her eyes. That's when she gets the green glowing eyes. That's when her skin kind of illuminates with orange a little bit, and that's when her hair starts to go full flame mode. It would be really CGI intensive to have her do that the entire time, but that's why I was thinking, look, if you just get a really good either wig or have her just wear her hair straight like they are in this one here, and then you paint her skin orange, like just straight up, just go for the orange, do that light orange, that would be perfect, and then everyone could get on board with Starfire. Like you wouldn't have a divide of fans where they're like, they don't really care about that, they're just pushing some, like, for diversity. You hear this a lot of the time where it's not even about sticking to the characters or honoring the characters. It's about we need to check these diversity boxes. And obviously they've got plenty of diversity in this show. The show has always been something that could very well easily be diverse, and we're looking forward to those things. I can't wait to see, like, you know, Calderon and you know, see like I honestly thought they might have gone for an Asian chick for Raven at first, and I would not have been opposed to that. But, you know, the Rachel Roth actress, the actress that plays Rachel Roth is really good. I thought she was weak in the trailer, but then when I saw the show, she grew on me. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And yeah, for the most part, I'll say I'm really excited for Season 2. This is something that I didn't think I was going to be very much. I was excited from the cliffhanger, but I thought they were going to drop the ball in the marketing. But what Anna Diop did on her own Instagram, apart from DC, was golden. This is a golden opportunity. DC should market this. DC should be promoting her post, getting that out to as many people as they possibly can. And if they have the time or ability, you need to go for that orange skin. So that's all I was going to say, is basically just get that aesthetic. Land the plane on the aesthetic, and everything else will fall into place. So that's all I really wanted to say today. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. It's not, you know, it's not doing a trailer, not doing that. I'm just talking with you guys about Anna Diop's Instagram post confirming that the costume and the hair has seen a drastic overhaul and major improvements, in my opinion. But I want to know what you think. Do you like the changes that they're making? Is that enough for you to get on board with Titan Season 2? Are you willing to, you know, overlook maybe some of the character flaws, like the fact that the fire's not the same as the green bolts, or like, you know, Beast Boy can only transform into tigers for some reason, or, you know, like those types of things, and hopefully we'll see them grow in those aspects in the next season? Or are you like, you know what, I don't really want to watch Titans anymore. I gave it a shot first episode. It was too dark, not good lighting. It looks to me like they're improving on these flaws. and that won't be something we're gonna have to deal with in season 2. So my thoughts, my opinions, I want your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up by clicking the thumbs up button. Also be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be alerted right away when I go live next time. That way you won't miss a single thing. Anyways, thanks guys. You have a great rest of your day and or night wherever you're watching, and you stay tuned for more right here on The Stuff of Legend.